Podketeers.
For old acquaintance be... We did that last time.
No, we did that last time.
McGruff
sang
here
it.
McGruff sang
He
that
sang
for
most
us.
of the words.
Yeah.
It's the new year.
It's a new year. Yes, it is.
Sure is. 2025.
Cinco.
Yes.
Cinco.
25. And it has already... It's already a year.
It was the most...
already a year.
It was the Mondayest Thursday...
Right?
Yep.
that ever was.
Yeah, it's been weird. If the news cycle is not something that brings you comfort and joy, don't watch it because it's been a week already in the first 2 days.
Right.
So, for your sanity, stay away from it because there's nothing good.
Right.
So yeah. So we're just gonna try to do our thing. We're gonna try to talk about some happy stuffs. We're gonna try to talk about how Chris Evans apparently can do it all later in the podcast. And I got a new shirt thanks to my brother.
Nice.
Look.
Yeah.
My wife bought me this shirt for Christmas.
What? Who's everyone on your shirt?
I got Rolly, Mark Davis, Joe Rohde, Claude Coates, Tony Baxter, Exitencio, Marty Sklar, Bob Gurr, Herb Ryman.
Nice.
It's a big long
I like
list.
it. Yeah.
There should be the back should have a whole more.
It's very early Imagineer inclined, with the exception of Rhodey and
Tony Baxter.
Tony.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean they're influential and they're
Right.
awesome, so it's cool. They're on the shirt, right?
Speaking of Rhodey, I also got this. Since it's sitting here.
I love it. I love
yes.
it.
Yep, I love it. I need
love
one
it.
of those in my life. I need one of those.
I don't know where it came from. My wife bought it for me for Christmas.
Well, I'm gonna please have her
Grimace.
send me a text message and tell me
Okay.
where it is because I
Right.
need one of those in my life.
But your brother
Framed.
got you that shirt.
I guess yeah. So my brother got me this shirt. I've been a fan of the Roosevelt shirts for a long time, and I've been talking about getting one for a really long time. The problem was that the size usually sells out really fast because this seems to be, I don't want to call it the uniform for fluffy people, but fluffy dudes that go to Disneyland or Disney parks tend to wear these. And I didn't, obviously they're very Disney inclined, they're Marvel inclined, they got a lot of different properties that they license and stuff. But they're pretty expensive shirts, right? And I didn't buy one because I was afraid that the sizing wasn't going to work out because sizing can be weird with certain brands.
Right.
And so my brother finally took the leap. He got one for me. And now that I know that the size that I thought I was going to be fits, now whenever they have a sale, I'll be like, okay, well, now I can actually look at their stuff and I'm going to know that it actually fits. But yeah, this one in particular was one of 3 shirts that I've been eyeballing for a while. And every time I went, it was sold out.
Oh, geez.
And so the fact that when I opened it, it was one of the 3 shirts that I wanted, it was awesome. It was one of the coolest gifts I've received in quite some time.
Nice.
So thank you to my brother. Truly appreciate it. And
That is awesome.
Thank you for helping me know that now I can go give my money to the Roosevelt's team. Let's see. I wanted to make a quick announcement. There's going to be 2025. I want to make sure that we can bring back a lot of the stuff that we were able to do before. I think I'm in a place where I can go back to doing some of that stuff. So things like the FGP call that we were doing, and then finally jumping into doing some live streams where we play some games or something. It's been a little tough to try to do those, and I think I'm in a position now where I can do a little bit more of that.
Yay.
So 2025, I think we're going to start bringing all that stuff back. Announcements are going to be going up on Patreon or the FGP Discord as to when we're going to have the first one. And then, we'll go from there. We'll figure out what we're going to do. And I I've been thinking about what like we can play and what we can do. Obviously, we have some stuff already on the list. We've talked about doing some Dreamlight Valley and just kind of going through some quests, maybe doing some decoration stuff, because one of the things I've always wanted to do on Dreamlight Valley is like just decorate, try to create like my own theme park, try to create my own Main Street and stuff. And the newest addition to the game gave us these like floating islands that are basically nothing but space for us to do all of that. And that was one of the things that we fought with in the game a lot, the space that's allowed in the actual valley or in the expansion packs because of the general game. So on stream, hopefully we'll be able to do some decorating. We'll be able to just kind of collaborate and figure out what we can do
and listen.
Just put a park together, and you know, every stream we'll just basically tear it down and start new and try to do a new one or something. I think that'll be kind of fun.
Ooh,
it'll be like a new form of armchair imagineering basically, but with visuals attached to it. You know what I mean? We have some Indiana Jones that we can play. I have Island of Illusion on the Switch that I started, but I haven't really had a chance to go back to. So I started thinking about like old school games. Like there was the old like Sega Aladdin games and Lion King, I think, that were really fun that we could try to do. I remembered one on the Nintendo called, I think it was called Castle of Illusion, that I remember the game. I don't remember playing it too much.
Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, all I remember is that
2013
Minnie
game.
followed Mickey, and it was annoying because, like, if you went too far, you couldn't progress until Minnie jumped.
Oh,
it was weird. It was
okay.
The mechanic was really strange, but we can revisit it. I've just been trying to like go through all these things that we can potentially do this year, listing them out because, like I said, I feel like I'm in a better position now than I was, and I hope to continue on that, you know, on that trajectory to, you know, finally go back to the parks and finally be able to enjoy other stuff. And so anyway, long story short, we got more stuff coming.
Castle of Illusion, you're talking about the Sega 8-bit game.
Oh,
correct?
I remember that it was. I thought it was on the Nintendo, but yeah.
So well, and then there's a Sega 8-bit game that came out in 1990, and then
was it that one, or was it Mickey's Mousecapade?
And then
maybe it was
there
Mousecapade.
is a 2013 remake of the game that was on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360.
It was Mickey's Mousecapade. That was the Nintendo one.
Ah, Mickey's Mousecapade.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
You know what's kind of funny? I actually wanted to give a shout out to Gavin. And I don't know if you remember, I want to say this was basically, I want to say just as COVID hit. And we were talking about how long it would take for us to like want to go back or enjoy being out in the, you know, in the public, being out doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And he did mention it would be about 5 years. And back then we were like, no, I thought it was going to be sooner.
Yeah.
Like Gavin hit it on the nail. Like he just hit it on there with 5 years.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the
What's
truth. I'm still not comfortable being out in public.
No, of course.
I don't like it. I don't like crowds
I don't
anymore.
either sometimes.
I don't like any of that stuff. But it is easier for me to go out now, primarily because just of how I've been feeling, and I think that there's been a lot of positive changes in the last like 6 months that will allow me to finally do more of that stuff.
Nice.
And you know, I'm hoping nothing happens that changes that trajectory, like I said, because it's been a long 3 years dealing with stuff. So anyway,
happy stuff. We're here.
yes, happy stuff. So we got stuff coming. But yeah, Andrew, Mickey's Mousecapade was the one that I was thinking about.
Mickey's Mousecapade.
Yeah, and I know that it was that
in
one.
1987 in
I
Japan.
just saw the game cover, and I remember that's the one that we would rent.
Gotcha.
'Cause you could rent
and
Nintendo
Pete and
cartridges
Minnie and
back
the
in the
crocodile
day.
from Peter Pan.
Yes. Yeah. The game mechanic was horrible because Minnie would follow you and mimic everything that you would do. So, like, if you would jump, she would jump. And so if you went too far up a ladder or something, if you didn't move, like, just enough, she couldn't climb up the ladder.
Oh,
It's really strange. It was kind of annoying. But anyway.
Excuse me.
Let's see. Bless you. Let's see what else I got. Oh, we got new stuff to add to our portfolio this year. Popeye and the Skeleton Dance have officially entered the public domain as of the 1st of January. They're ours. We licked it. It's ours, okay?
Whoa!
That's
Blow
it. It's
me
ours.
down,
We claim
Olive.
it.
Called it.
That's it.
Or
We
whatever
have
he says.
we already licked it and put it in our mouth. It's ours. Don't even try to touch it. We're gonna make T-shirts
Copyright.
and all sorts of stuff.
Podketeers.
Right.
The new mascot.
I mean, there's already a horror movie coming out with Popeye, so
Is it Popeye and the gang, or is it just only Popeye?
I
That's a
don't
good
know.
question.
I remember what was it? I just remember him. It was supposed to be like just him by himself terrifying people, so kind of like a Scream movie. I'm
Gotcha.
assuming.
Did
But-
Popeye, the
there you
very
go.
first iteration, who didn't eat spinach, is now free to share and adapt. And so it's like the original comic. Let's see other things
Well,
that are.
that'll be interesting for that movie.
Yeah. What else? The Skeleton Dance. We said Alfred Hitchcock's first sound film, Blackmail.
Now
Yeah.
other people can keep that. I think Maltese Falcon was also a part of that list this year.
On with the show, the first all-talking feature-length film in color. William Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury. Agatha Christie's Seven Dials Mystery. Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own. And then various works of Salvador Dali. And Popeye.
All right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Rhapsody in Blue is also entering.
Oh, okay.
Nice. It's time to make our own Fantasia.
That's our new theme song,
Yeah.
Rhapsody in Blue.
That's horrible.
That's it.
Yeah, it's
Popeye
Boom.
dancing.
We've done it.
With the skeletons.
And it fits the theme of the podcast since
Right?
it's blue.
Boom. 2025 is looking up, yo.
Right?
Got
We'd have
it.
to record it ourselves because I'm sure individual recordings of it are copywritten, but the music itself is.
Yeah, but now we could do it. It could be.
Yeah, just put it in the
It could
computer.
be Rhapsody in Blue, Podketeers version.
Rhapsody
just like
in
Taylor did.
Cyan.
Oh. Wait a second.
I like that.
Wait a second. Hold on now. Let's see. Hey, I know that in the last episode I mentioned the Superman trailer.
Yeah.
Oops.
Do you want to quickly discuss the Superman trailer?
Sure.
All right, let me
Yeah.
bring it up. We'll watch it. We can comment on it because, yo, dude.
D-U-D.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Right. All right.
Yee.
We're seeing this. Cold.
Wind whooshing.
The wind is whooshing.
Rum.
And now there's
whap.
something has crashed into the ice. Oh no, what is it? It's Superman in his little red shorts, little red undie pants, and his blue thing. Superman is wheezing. Oh no. He doesn't feel very good. Oh, now there's some nerd with glasses.
Guy with
He's like
curly
oafing all
hair.
around, but he's like
Looks
100
like
feet
my
tall.
hair would look like if I didn't put a hat on.
And then there's blood coming out of Soup. Now he cut back. Oh, he spit some blood up on the snow. And it says Superman, John Williams fanfare on guitar. And then there's that lady from, I don't remember what she's from. And it says directors of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. Oh, there's a house with a cow. He hugs a bald man.
Uncle Ben.
That's
Oh,
Uncle
no.
That's
Ben.
not Uncle Ben. That's Spider-Man.
No.
No, it's
Uncle-
Uncle Ben.
Is he also Uncle Ben?
It is. No. Wow, I'm tired.
Henry? What's his name?
Oh my gosh.
Some more snow. And it says, it begins. And there's a freaking dog with a cape on. Crypto barks.
Super dog.
And then Crypto pulls him. And there's a bunch of slow-mo stuff. Superman protecting somebody. Some bald guy. Luth Corp. bald guy again. Superman punches a glass. Kid with a flag. A guy throws a can at Superman's head.
And that looked like it hurt.
Nathan Fillion, and then a hawk lady, and then a Godzilla, then a bunch of kissing, a dead robot, ice, a wrinkly man, bald guy, TV, Superman, dog, punch, football field, another guy, force field, flying, fire, clouds. She's holding his hand. Oh, more kissing. Oh, no, it was just a hug. Sorry.
No.
Triumphant fanfare.
July 11th.
Only in theaters. Filmed for IMAX. All right.
Summer.
I think I've talked about this really early on in the podcast. I don't know if I brought it up in some time, but growing up, I was a big Superman fan.
Oh, yeah?
I was a Superman fan probably... Actually, I know exactly when I turned against the Superman franchise. And it was when the comic set or the series A Funeral for a Friend was published. That's when they killed Superman. Doomsday came down, basically beat the living tar out of him and killed him. And they had a whole funeral and everything. And I remember being absolutely crushed and devastated over the death of Superman. I didn't think that a comic book superhero would affect me that way, but it did. And then, because at the time I wasn't really like big into comics, I knew of them and I knew the stories and I was a fan of Superman and stuff. But I wasn't really in tune with the culture and stuff. I didn't realize that superheroes die and then they come back as something else, as an alter ego, or they get republished in a new series,
right?
And then
or they just make a
over.
new comic. They're like, this is Superman still.
Yeah, but and they did. They brought back like 4 versions of Superman at the time, and like it was not great. And I remember just thinking like, I think I'm done with this, but. At the time, it was Superman and it was Gambit, and to an extent, it was Wolverine because they killed off Gambit really early in the X-Men cartoon, and that's kind of where I started really liking Gambit. And for a long time, I just kind of I went away from comics until the MCU. Like there was a short time where I just didn't really follow much. And then the MCU came along, and this fella named Tony Stark was introduced to me.
Anthony Stark.
And then the rest is history. The rest is just history. So, seeing like Superman movies throughout the years, I've enjoyed them. I've liked them, but they haven't really... Like, I haven't been excited about a Superman film in a really long time. I enjoyed it, and it was what it was, right? Until I saw this trailer. And I'm not sure if it's because like James Gunn is involved, and James Gunn is like a genuine like comic nerd and like genuinely loves the stuff that he reads and he connects with it, that so much of this trailer looks like a genuine Superman comic brought to life to me.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I could see that too. I would like to just apologize for getting
Jonathan's name wrong.
Yes. And
right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt so stupid for a while.
He's Uncle Ben now. It's fine.
He's
Right.
It's not even,
It's because I got so excited. But no, that is Jonathan. I know the parents and stuff. And I'm like,
But then I was like, what is his uncle's name? And I was like, wait, he's not his uncle. That's his Earth family.
Yep.
It's Jonathan.
Mom, Pa, Kent.
Yeah.
But you could feel like, okay, I have seen the original Superman movies. I haven't been, caught up, but the feel in this movie, like the presentation in the trailer and the music, the sound, James Gunn knows what he's doing. And, would it be different if I didn't know him from, Guardians films? I don't know, but the way that it's presented makes me want to go see it. Like it looks, it's it's kind of like fresh air. Like it's a Superman movie. Like it screams that. I'm actually interested in it. I really am. Yeah, I think everything just scores and stuff. It's just it flows. Like I said, it caught my attention. So well done. Well done on the trailer itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a Superman movie.
At all?
That's okay.
Ever. I've never seen a Superman movie. Of the any DC movies, I've seen all the Nolan Batmans. We watched The Batman, the Pattinson one. And I think I've seen Aquaman.
The
And
worst
that's
of
it.
all the superheroes.
Oh, and we watched the Suicide Squad, the second one, the reboot one.
Suicide Squad was really good, though.
And those are all the
Yeah.
ones I've seen.
Yeah.
I didn't mess with none of these other whatever. It's just I didn't care. It's just something I wasn't interested in. It didn't appeal to me. And a Suicide Squad still really didn't appeal to me too much. It was fine. I thought it was fine. Aquaman I thought was fine. The Nolan Batmans are some of my favorite movies of all time, though.
Yeah.
So, but oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm getting over a cough. But this trailer kind of gives me that same kind of like feeling of like attention to detail and care of the characters, and like makes you actually want to know about these. And it does, even though he is trying to build out a universe here, it doesn't necessarily, at least from this trailer, feel like this movie is the start of a thing and blah 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 blah, who cares. This is a Superman movie.
Yep.
Which is, I think, this is the thing that the whole DC thing, they went too fast. They try to like, all right, we're starting this and doing this and making it an internet connected thing right away. Where it's like they wouldn't focus on making a movie. They'd focus on making a part of this giant story that they're trying to tell. Where this seems, at least from the trailer anyway, we won't know until we see it, seems like a movie.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's how I felt about this too. I'm with you too, Mel, on watching this one and immediately feeling interested. You said something interesting though, Mel, because would I be so open to watching this one if I saw the same trailer and I knew that James Gunn didn't direct it? Probably. If it was the exact same trailer, I think I would still be excited over it. But
Right.
the fact is that James Gunn with superhero films has proven time and time again that he's good at it.
Right.
And knowing that he's attached, because he was Suicide Squad as well, right? So knowing
The
what
second
he's
one,
done,
right?
I think he did the
Or
first one too.
he did both of them?
Yeah, I think he did the first one too. Knowing that he's attached just makes me feel better that they're gonna do this character justice again, right? And the other films are fine. They're good. They're good for what they are. I know that there's people that will argue that they're not great, or that they're gonna nitpick it, and I can admit that I haven't been enough of a Superman fan in a really long time to sit there and nitpick it and let it be what it is. This one genuinely has me excited to watch it. Right, it looks really
Right.
good. So, the fact that the opening scene where you see him fall and then like he's bleeding already has me wondering who did this to him.
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
enough yet, like going in, like, because as far as I know, there's not a lot of characters in the comics that have gotten him to that point.
Right.
So the idea of like you said, Andrew, the fact that with the last iterations of like Justice League and all this other stuff that they were trying to build, they were trying to fast track a 10-year MCU build up into like 3 to 5 years to build their own DCEU, right? And I feel like James Gunn is the right person to lead this and say, you know what, if it takes us 10 years to build it, it takes us 10 years to build it, but we're going to do it right.
Right.
We're going to do these characters justice. So I will also say that the Nolan films are also my favorite Batman ones. I know that there's hardcore fans out there that are like, no, it's Keaton. It's got to be like the Keaton Batman. I think
there's
anyone...
options.
Yeah, I don't think anyone ever says that about the Clooney Batman or some of the other
Val
films
Kilmer.
that are out there. I know that the newest version, the Robert Pattinson version, that some people really like that one. I still have not seen it yet, but they're saying it's really good.
I
Yeah,
thought
you
it
gotta see
was
it.
Yeah?
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll add it to my list because I will admit that in the last, I don't know, like maybe 2 years, I think it was the fact that I went and I started playing the Arkham Asylum games on PlayStation, and I was playing through the stories. Man, I have grown a big appreciation for the Batman character. Like I think he's flawed in a lot of ways, obviously, but you know, what character isn't flawed, right? I think that's part of the charm of what makes the characters the characters. There are some things that in today's world, like if it was a real character, I'd be like, bro, really? That's what you're doing? But it is what it is, right? It's a character. It's a comic book character. I'm not going to sit there and nitpick it. But I have grown an appreciation for Batman as a character enough that I've actually considered 3D printing a Batman cowl.
Yeah.
Just because it would look cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has me super excited. So
Yeah. And to be clear, what I said, the Nolan Batman, The Dark Knight is not just one of my favorite Batman films. It's one of my favorite films of all time.
Oh, wow.
It's like one of
Whoa.
my top 5 movies of all time.
Wow.
That's new to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it top 5 for me.
Top
but it's
5?
definitely, yeah, damn. Top 5 would be hard because I could tell you that there's been some films that have been super influential.
It's definitely in the top 10. But
Yeah.
if I had to write it out, it'd be close. If it's not in the top 5, it's number 6.
Like for me, it would probably be, if I added it to my top 10, it would be closer to 10 probably.
Yeah.
But excuse me.
We should do that one time just for fun. Our favorite movies.
Yeah, put it on the list.
Top 10.
Let's make it. Yeah, we'll do a segment about that because I know that there's other films that were really influential in how I approach editing and what I like veered towards when I was learning editing and all that, and like visual effects and stuff like that.
My number 1 movie will come to no surprise.
Like my Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, yes.
You guessed it.
Can
Boom,
you
there
can you
go.
guess mine?
Can I guess Heyzen's favorite movie? I wonder. Is it Iron Man?
Mel, do you want to take a guess?
Is it?
Animated or I was like, wait a minute.
So I want you to keep in mind as you're guessing, and you can stick to your guess, Andrew, or you can make another one if you want.
Sure.
But, the films that are closer to the top of my list were very influential in why I decided to learn visual effects and do editing and go into that field originally.
I think I do.
I wanted to like ultimately work at like Pixar, right? I was learning 3D modeling and visual effects and all that stuff, but there was one film in particular that I remember watching it. I was like, "What? I want to do that!"
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
so then
it changed my world.
Say it.
can I share?
Yeah,
Or you sharing? Wally.
Andrew, are you sticking to Iron Man?
That's what popped in my head after you started talking. So that's got to be it.
And watch it be wrong.
Okay. So on the animated front, if we're going animated films, you are both right.
Right.
WALL-E was one of the feature films that absolutely changed me because I will always praise WALL-E for being able to tell a better story with absolutely zero dialogue for so long, better than most can do in 3 hours with dialogue.
Right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
That is true.
It wasn't the one that changed.
Give me some more hits. Give me more hits. I want to guess this.
It's just visual effects heavy.
Visual effects heavy. What year was this movie released?
Oh, many moons ago.
Many moons
Many.
ago. Like 70s,
Many fortnights
50s,
ago.
80s.
Oh no,
Gen-
it was in the 2000s.
Oh, in the 2000s. That's
Yeah.
not many moons ago.
It is. I mean, we're like 25 years into the 2000s, man.
That's true. All right, you just tell us.
Okay.
It was The Matrix. It was actually 1999. It wasn't 2000.
I was going to say
it was
that's
actually
not
1999.
2000.
That makes sense.
But it was The Matrix. I remember watching that film, and I remember going to the movie theater and watching this on a huge screen and watching the bullet time scene and watching everything that they did with that film. And it absolutely, I was mind blown with the visual effects. And I was like, I want to do this. And I want to get paid for it.
Right.
And I don't.
The dream.
But I still do. I still get a chance to do
Right.
it. Even if I don't get paid to do it full time.
Right.
So yeah, I if I had to put a number one on my list, it would probably be The Matrix.
Right. Melissa, do you have one you want to shout out?
Okay, if you look at me and you look at my background, you telling me you can't tell what my first one.
Does it have
My
to
number
do with a
one.
nightmare?
Yeah.
Does it have to do with a nightmare before a particular holiday?
I was gonna say yeah. It's a
yeah,
holiday.
The Nightmare on Elm Street. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Nailed it.
Home Alone 2. Home Alone.
Chucky's Revenge. Home
Right.
Alone 4. Chucky's Revenge.
Just kidding. It was The Exorcist.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, Nightmare's definitely on there for me. I think it's in my top 10 as well. Because
Not even
That
in my
one-
top 50.
Wow.
Well,
and I
not
really
for
like
you.
that movie.
Wow.
And I really like it.
I would have to. You know what? This would be a fun
This is
exercise
right.
to do. Because there's other films. Like, I remember every time there's a new film technique, I remember just freaking out over it. There was a movie called A Scanner Darkly that came out that had, like, Robert Downey Jr. in it as well. Keanu Reeves was in it. And they rotoscoped a lot of these animated features into the film, and they overlaid it on the actual, like, film. It was amazing. It was fantastic. I love the effect that A Scanner Darkly brought into that film. That was, I think, a Richard Linklater film. But that would probably be somewhere in my top 25, I think, as far as, like, visual effects and stuff. So let's
do that
put
one
in
time.
this one. I think this would be a
Yeah.
fun topic to like suss out over like a full segment. I think so.
Also, I wanted to tell you that the first Suicide Squad film was directed by David Ayer.
I thought it was both of them, like him and James Gunn directed it.
He's not listed
Or was he just
anywhere
produced,
on the
like-
credits.
Oh, interesting.
Or maybe it's just it made us feel like it.
Well, I know he did the second, the remake,
Yeah.
or the whatever they call it,
Because he did the new one,
the Suicide Squad,
the
versus
Suicide Squad,
Suicide
yeah.
Squad.
and he's also the one who directed Peacemaker, right?
Is that
Yes.
The,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with
what's
John
his
Cena?
face?
Yeah.
Because Peacemaker was also really freaking good.
Yes,
I
that was
loved
that
it.
was a TV series. Yeah, a series. Yes, directed by James Gunn.
Actually, I think there's another season.
Nice.
I think there's another
Learned
season.
is that James Gunn is the savior of the DC EU. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
Second
basically
season
it.
will premiere in August of The Peacemaker.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I also have not watched this. Let's see.
Well-
James Gunn directed 3, 4, 5 of the 8 episodes.
Nice.
It's really fun. It's a fun show. It's a good cast and
But
everything.
He wrote all the episodes. He wrote all of them.
But John Cena will have more time to do a season 3 and beyond now that he's on his John Cena farewell tour from the WWE.
Well, he probably makes more money acting.
Oh, I'm sure he does, and it's less taxing on his body
Yeah.
in the end. So
Yep.
if I could switch
It's
that
actually
up and
pretty
do the
good.
same thing, I would have done the same thing. That's smart.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So Superman, looking forward to it. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Boom.
There's a dog in it. Like, how can you not like it?
Super
freaking super dog, Crypto the super dog.
Yeah.
He's freaking cute.
He's adorable.
I like him.
More
Yeah.
pets in movies, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give everybody a pet. Can't Spider-Man have a pet?
By the way, I'm pretty sure I told you I have this list of things to 3D print. By the way, there's an announcement for the FGP Squad that's coming really soon because I felt really bad about the screw up with the whole mailing thing and having things like. Anyway, I felt really bad, and so I've kind of decided to upgrade everyone. So
Aww.
in the next week, I'm planning on getting the new packages out. I had to order new, larger packages, and that's all I'm gonna say. But everyone that was going to get something in the mail is now getting upgraded. So
Nice.
That's coming soon. Anyway, so I have this list of things that I've been wanting to 3D print, right? And so every time something cool comes up or I think of something cool that I can make for somebody, I add it to like this little document that I have. And on my list, I have Mel's cats. Because I want to make little Batman cowls for her cats. And she could just drop onto them. And they could be like Batcat.
Meow.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Meow. And so, anyway, when you were talking about Super Dog Crypto, I was like, well, yeah.
I'm Catman.
Maybe we should come up with cool names for your superhero cats now, Mel.
Ooh.
But, yeah, that's on my list, just so you know. All right, we're gonna jump to another superhero in just a moment, but before we do, I think we should take a quick moment to thank a very special group of listeners. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Yeah, our superheroes.
Our superheroes.
Yeah.
That's right. Our podcast Fairy Godparents, or as they like to call themselves, the FGP Squad, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find some of our top contributors, a link to our Patreon, some information on what the FGP Squad is all about. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. But being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks, like access to additional content we've uploaded to Patreon, a special section of Discord, random giveaways, discount codes for new Podketeers gear, access to our happy hour calls, which we talked about getting back to this year. So, yeah, FGP Squad, awesome group of listeners. We love them so much. So, podketeers.com/FGP is where you want to go. And, of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support.
Speaking of links.
Yes, thank you, Andrew. Podketeers.com/links is the one we want to tell everyone about, because that is where you find all the links we get commonly asked for in one convenient spot. You'll find a link to our latest episode, a link to the Quizneyland playlist, of course a link to the FGP Squad, a link to our Discord so you can join the community and keep talking about all the stuff we talk about on the podcast, and more. You will also find any charity things that we're currently doing with our official charity team, Team Boat Willie. You'll find links to our YouTube accounts. You'll find a link to our Armchair Imagineering playlist. So set up the shortcut, put a little icon on your phone, drag that shortcut to your desktop. If you like to view stuff on your PC, wherever you want to access it, podketeers.com/links, and you'll have easy access to all of that stuff. Yay!
Yay. We should have a link.
A
A link?
Yeah, it's like
Podketeers.com/link/link.
and you click, so it's the link, and then you click on the link, and it takes you a
And
picture
take
of
you
Link.
to the link.
It
Perfect.
takes you a picture of Link from Zelda. A Link.
Or Link,
Sausage
Rhett's
Link.
friend from Good Mythical Morning. So it's Rhett and
Oh, Rhett and Link. So you just link to the
It
Good
just
Mythical
link-
Morning podcast. with
and
Link.
every different link takes you to a different version of Link. So
different-
You know
yeah.
what? Let's
That link.
let's save this for
Sauce.
April.
Sausage Link.
We got 3 more months.
Sausage Link, yum.
Chain Link.
All of them. Chain Link.
Link. I don't got any more links.
They all worked.
They all worked.
All right. As we were saying, another superhero that was on most people's Instagram feed is this gentleman here,
Christopher Robert Evans.
Christopher Robert Evans himself. Chris Rowe, as some people call him.
CR
in
Evans.
the text chain. Nobody calls him that in the text chain.
We call him CR.
We call him CR, exactly.
CR.
The caption from the Disney Parks post on Instagram says, "First Mjolnir, now the sword in the stone."
And it's a picture of
And
him. Gonna pull
if
the
you look
sword
at this
out of the
picture,
stone.
you're thinking to yourself, well, look, he's just posing with the sword like everyone else is.
Just like everybody does, these kids and everything.
And then you scroll, and he's like looking at it,
Uh-huh.
and then you hit the next picture, he pulls it up.
Wow.
So he was worthy of Mjolnir, and now he's worthy of Excalibur.
Excalibur. Like that
So
casino.
Yes.
So here was we were talking about this as you gave us the link.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize him.
You're like, who's that
So,
guy? Was that
in
John
my
Krasinski?
I didn't even bother. He looked. I was like, "Oh, look, that's pretty cool." I don't know why I read Mjolnir and I didn't register nothing. I just thought, "Oh, that's cool."
They took a picture of an old man.
No, I honestly thought they were gonna. I honestly thought that the whole Sword in the Stone thing was gonna come back. Why?
Oh.
My brain was like, "Oh, because Madam Mims and Oogie Boogie Bash." So that was my train of thought when I saw this, and then I realized, oh, that's Cap. Whoops. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's my brain.
They brought out their the garage door opener and lifted up the sword for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Made me
I
sad.
mean, do you think I'm trying to remember, is Chris Evans going to be in anything anytime soon?
They just announced him.
Well, they said he's coming back as some undetermined character.
As some, yeah, right? Like, they didn't say what, but he's
We
coming
vaguely
back as
talked
something.
about this, right?
But it's not anything, like, that's coming
Not
out in
current.
the next year or 6 months or anything like that
I
they're
don't
trying to
believe
promote
so.
him, right? Because
Let's
this
see.
is... I mean, other than the fact that maybe at some point he had mentioned to... Because obviously he's got a tour guide. He's not doing this on his own. He's not walking around the park, right? He's got a tour guide. At some point, this had to be one of those moments where he mentioned to a tour guide, like, oh, as a kid, I always dreamed of, like, lifting the Sword in the Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, I can make that happen for you.
Maybe it was like, I want to go to Disneyland. If I do a photo shoot for you guys, can I get to Disneyland for free with a thing?
I mean, probably, right? But I wanna believe that at some point he was just there with his family, and he was like, "Man, when I was a kid, I just really wanted to do this." And the
I mean, that's still
cast
cool.
member was like, "I can make that happen."
But they're like, we got to get
And
a
then-
photographer over here right now.
Right? Because these are not iPhone photos, right? These
No,
are
not at all.
nice photos from some cast member that really took the time to frame them properly and, you know,
Right.
look at how creamy that background looks. This was obviously planned.
I don't like that you said creamy.
It looks creamy. Look how
I
nice.
know.
It's-
I agree, but I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm
I won't say it again.
It's fine. I'm just saying I don't like it.
It looks nice.
The photos look nice.
So, anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything coming up his... He had Red One, that movie with The Rock that bombed.
Yeah.
I mean,
then-
unless
yeah, I
no,
don't
was
know.
he? He wasn't in What If yet. I don't think so.
Deadpool and Wolverine, which came out already a while ago.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just there on vacation.
We have upcoming something called Materialists, something called Honey Don't.
But none
something
of those are
called
Disney, though, right? Like, the last thing he was
Sacrifice.
in was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right,
Yeah.
for Disney. Let's see.
That's pretty much it.
Some of these are... Yeah, I don't know. A few of all three of these don't even have a poster yet, so...
Oh, interesting.
they're all in post-production.
Well, I mean, look. Either way, dream come true for somebody. If
Right.
it was
Yeah.
Chris Evans' dream, well then, hey, you know, this is what being in the MCU for so long gets you. Special access to the Sword in the Stone.
I guess.
Way to
Hey.
go, Chris. Way to go, CR.
Good job,
did it.
Christopher Robert
Good job, Cap.
Evans.
Good job, Cap. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, hey, so in the last few weeks, we've been talking a lot about the new mansion shop that's opening right outside the Haunted Mansion. And apparently, there were some articles out there talking about how and it's funny because when you had gone through the queue for the mansion, Andrew, you talked about how some of it just looked like off-the-shelf stuff. It looked like you could go to Home Goods or something and just pick that stuff up, right? Apparently, some of the stuff in the shop and outside of the shop was off the shelf. And in some cases, it was AI art that they used.
Yeah.
Like, one in particular was a piece, I believe, of the bride.
It was like
that
it was like a ghost. It wasn't the bride one. The bride one's different. This is like
it was like a
ghostly
ghost
figure.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently it was something that was available on Redbubble and stuff. And before I give you my thoughts on it, what did you both think when you saw these articles popping up about, the off-the-shelf stuff that they used to decorate, and then now the AI art that they chose to use in it?
I actually started laughing because one, whoever did this, how do you not think that people are gonna catch it? Like, the internet is so fast. We should have learned from TikTok. The internet is very fast. Like, we're gonna call it out, or whoever did it. But I started laughing because I sent you guys a link of something that I was already looking at.
A link?
Because, a link.
A sausage
Link? Sausage link? Chain
Yes.
link?
Yep. That's it. That's this.
Sorry, I'm being really
episode
interrupting
name.
today.
It's okay. No, I was looking for, like, of course, things to put on my wall, or things to put, like, as a display, things like that. And there was this really pretty, it's a statue or a bust,
It's a bust. Yeah.
of the veiled woman. And it's funny because when I had seen pictures, 'cause we didn't know what it looked like inside. So, you're looking at everything, and I was like, I have that candle. I think I have that candle. I almost purchased that candle. I've seen that thing over there. And I get it if maybe they had a time limit, but make it look dirty. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get some hot glue, get some tacky glue, and just put dust on there and call it a day. Make it look ugly, but it was hilarious catching those things. I'm like, oh, I don't know who said yes, but yikes. Big yikes. Oof.
Big yikes, yeah. Yeah, I guess the first thing I thought was they really didn't give them a budget. That's like the first thing that came into my head was that this was done on a shoestring budget, and there's some really nice details in this shop. Like, it's not without its charm and its good details. There's the Leota tombs
Absolutely,
portrait.
yeah.
That's
There's
nice, yeah.
there's the they have the lamp that used to be above Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion before she started flying around. That lamp is in there, and there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
But a lot of the set dressing is, like you said, it's off the shelf. They're like, all right, they went on Amazon and they went spooky, or they went old timey, or whatever, or an Etsy and who knows where. And with a company like the Walt Disney Company, there is the money is there, and they also just have stuff. Like, I have to imagine they just have stuff. And the Haunted Mansion has a very, how shall I put it,
Aesthetic?
dedicated fan base, and
That
a
too.
and a very particular aesthetic. This is also true, and you can, like, it's really easy to be like, no, that doesn't fit. no, that doesn't gel with this other thing. When you're trying to like cohesively make these things be a one and the same. So that's kind of where I felt, you know, a lot of like the stuff down low, the cases and everything look nice. They're nice in wood and blah 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 blah. I haven't been in there, but it seems like it's still fairly small. It's even though it seems huge from the outside, it's not much bigger than probably the one that's in New Orleans Square. I did hear a rumor that the reason that they put this shop over there was to then take all that space that's over there, the shop and the gumbo place, the clam chowder place that's over there.
The veranda?
No, is that what it's called? Is that Royal Street Veranda? The little window with the clam
right
chowder
under the Dream Suite.
Yeah. Anyway, the rumor was that is going to turn into Pirates of the Caribbean Q. Is what I've been hearing is because the queue has gotten so bad because of Lightning Lane that they said, "Oh, Lightning Lane's only temporary, blah 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 blah. It'll go away again."
So instead of getting rid of Lightning Lane and making things better,
they build a whole shop.
They double down.
Nice.
So I guess we'll see. I mean, it makes sense that, you know, those are right next to the, you know, they're on the same level as the entrance to Pirates of the Caribbean, so you can do your little outside thing, and then you'd go in a different way and wander your way around whatever those are, and then make your way in, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens, if anything happens. But, yeah, it seemed like this was done on a shoestring budget, and the Imagineers weren't given the things they needed to make it gel with the Haunted Mansion properly. And I don't blame the Imagineers. I blame they did what they could within their budget.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I'm glad you said that.
Agreed.
Because that's ultimately where I landed on this too. Because at first I was with you, Mel. I was like, what the heck is this? Like, what am I watching? And this was they opened the shop after we had talked about what it looked like, and I went on a rant, obviously, like an episode or two ago, talking about how I didn't like it and that it just didn't look good, and then they started
like
adding stuff outside, and you know, it looked like a tool shed, and obviously they ended up adding some stuff to kind of help the aesthetic on the outside to make it look more like the original concept art.
Yeah, but still.
And then like a day or two after we talked about it, they ended up opening the shop and we saw what was inside, and that's where all these like AI articles and everything started to come out. And at first I was very much on the whole, like, I chuckled and I thought, what am I looking at here, right?
Right.
And then ultimately I thought about it, and I felt bad for the Imagineers, because the Imagineering is known for all their creativity and, you know, the amazing structures that they can put together. The biggest eyesore of this thing for me is that it kills the entire forced perspective of Fowler's Harbor and the mansion itself. Like, the fact that it's just this tool shed in the middle of the walkway just breaks the illusion of everything
from that side. Luckily from the other side, it's still the coming up from Frontierland through New Orleans Square still looks fine, but the other way,
right, but if you're looking at it from the opposite direction, it just looks out of place, right?
Right, screws it up.
And it got me thinking about, when I was ranting about it, that I hope I'm not right. Like, more than ever, I hope I'm not right, that they're going to start putting more profit, like, in the forefront of these creative endeavors that Imagineers have always been known for. Because, obviously, when you look at the work that Imagineers are doing at Disney parks around the world, the work is amazing.
Yeah,
the stuff
Disney
that they're doing on the cruise lines,
everywhere.
Absolutely,
everywhere else looks amazing.
It's
And
not
you're right.
It's not like the talent has gone downhill whatsoever.
Exactly. I started thinking back on projects that I used to that they used to give me like years ago, that I didn't have a lot of time to put stuff together, you know, or like side jobs that I would get that they were on a shoestring budget, and then they wanted you to work your magic to make it look like it was way better, but you couldn't. Like, you did the best with what you had available to you, and this is definitely one of those instances. Like, it's becoming more and more clear that is
Right.
exactly what happened here. This was not something that Imagineers would have wanted to put out. It really feels like it was a mandate from someone above them that said, we need a shop, and we need a shop like yesterday.
Looking at you,
Make it
Ken
happen.
Pot Rock.
Yeah. Whatever, just make it happen. Right?
Yep.
I don't know if they're going to keep adding. It looks like they've kind of gone back and they've modified it. The more people kind of backlash on it, and they've, you know, I don't know if they're going to keep doing that or if they're just going to reach a point and say, like, it's mansion enough. But the aesthetic of, I don't know. They tore so much down that they could have saved elements and just decorated with those elements, right? They didn't have to get rid of all that stuff. But I don't know. I feel bad for the Imagineers.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
basically what it comes down to.
There is one thing that I had seen somebody post about recently, was there is a bride portrait in the shop. It looks like a created thing, and people are speculating that this is what the new bride is going to be, because she's holding a candelabra, she's not holding an axe, and she's da 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 da.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And so there's all these rumors been going around, which they seem like they're true, is that when the mansion comes back, there'll be a new bride.
Right.
Because, you know, if you went through Haunted Mansion Holiday this year, normally where the bride is, you know, she's usually there, but kind of just like draped over or whatever. This time there's like this big wall in front of where she normally is. So leads us to believe that some work is being done. So I guess, you know, next month or whenever Mansion comes back, we should know, hopefully, if that rumor was true or not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they modify the bride, I think it'll be great. I think the last version of the bride wasn't bad. But
Right. I mean, it's
think the
definitely
new technology
yeah.
that we've seen around the parks, you know, around the world, they definitely have some better technology and projection mapping that they could use. So,
Well, that bride has been there almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Like 2006.
yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
saying. For what it was, I mean, you know, it was great. But if we're getting an update,
Times they be a changin'.
yeah.
Technology they be a changin'.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that with the bride, they'll... Have you heard if they've made any modifications to the story at Walt Disney World to match the latest film? Or is it still kind of just the mansion is the mansion?
Mansion is the mansion, from what I can tell. They just plop the Hatbox Ghost in there, and that's basically it.
Because that was one of the things that I was wondering when the film came out, especially naming the place Crump Manor, and it had the same type of visual to it and everything. That exactly. I wondered if they were going to incorporate more of that story to give the to make some of the story canon in the Haunted Mansion, so that it finally had an actual story and it wasn't just like a speculative story, like
Right.
with the elements that we've seen. Because I know that there was also talks at one point of getting rid of the scene in the elevator, because, you know, they don't want somebody just like hanging
the hanging
there.
man.
And the visual of that. So that would change the entire spiel that they have there, and it would change a lot of other elements as well. But I wondered if they would change the story, and maybe with the bride. You know, I know we haven't done our full-blown remansion.
Mm-hmm.
I know we did Franken Mansion at one point,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
I
We're
know
gonna
that we
do-
wanted to expand on that and actually
Yes,
see
build
it
our
out,
own
like
mansion.
remansion
Yes.
or Mansion Reloaded. So I guess at some point maybe we could do that. And if the new
Yeah.
bride is kind of the entryway to that, I wouldn't mind.
Right.
It would be nice to have an actual story to the mansion at one point.
Sure.
You know? But at least an official one.
Well, and I think my guess is that the Imagineers like the lack of story, because then they can basically have free reign to add whatever they want.
Yeah.
Which
I
makes
could see that.
sense.
You're not tied down to anything. You're like, we want to put Hatbox Ghost right here. Okay. No, it makes sense because ghost. Ooh, there's a ghost. All right, you want to put a ghost somewhere? Makes sense. Or it's like, okay, well, there's the sea captain, and he has a this, and then the bride with the thing, and then and then you know, Pirates of the Caribbean has no story either. There are pirates.
But
That's it.
But there's a lot of sea captain statues available at Home Goods that they could purchase.
Yeah, on Temu or whatever. That's that. So yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean is There Are Pirates, the ride. Haunted Mansion is There Are Ghosts, the ride.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. There are ghosts.
Well, if they decide to add a story to it and make something canon, I don't think I'd be angry at that.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
I guess
and-
it depends
yeah.
on the story.
I think the story is
maybe.
Hello Kitty.
Oh, well, listen. Now you're talking, right?
My guess is if the film had made $1 billion, there may have been changes. But because it kind of just fizzled out, it, isn't making an impact in any way whatsoever.
Not yet, it's not.
Yeah, so who knows?
Not yet, it's not.
Not yet, it's not.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking at the time here, going for about an hour. I think that's a good place to wrap it up for today.
All
What do you
right.
think?
Sure.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Well, if you've seen the new Haunted Mansion shop, obviously we're going by some of the photos and some of the video clips that we've seen people post. So we don't know what everything looks like yet. But if you've had an opportunity to see a little bit more, tell us if any of it actually looks better. Tell us if it actually feels more mansion-y when you're there. Because obviously being there feels different than what you're seeing on screen, right? You're seeing, whatever people decide to post. And
Right.
At first I didn't want to believe the articles about the AI thing, but then I started seeing the examples of it. I thought, oh no, what's going on here? And it felt like it validated a lot of what I was complaining about before. So I hope this isn't like a widespread thing. I hope this is just like a, hey, we got to get through this. We got an anniversary coming up, and we got to capitalize on the popularity of the mansion. Give me a shop. Give me a shop now. And that's it.
Right.
And I hope that everything else is like, Imagineers, do your Imagineering thing.
Right.
Do what you can do.
I also hope
So-
that they put more Haunted Mansion merchandise in the Haunted Mansion store. Because
Yeah.
right now it's like a third Haunted Mansion and the rest of it's Nightmare Before Christmas. Because holiday. So hopefully the store is mostly Haunted Mansion merchandise. You can get Nightmare Before Christmas throughout the park.
Yeah.
You
You
could.
can get a Jack Skellington hoodie in any store. So
Mansion
I want,
holiday goes through the 12th, right?
I don't know, whenever Christmas is over. Or the
I think
holidays.
so.
It's like the
Usually,
9th. The 12th is a Sunday, so I would
When
think it's...
do the holidays end at Disneyland? Google says January 6th.
Oh, that's much sooner. Okay, so just in a few days, actually.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I guess we'll see. Because you're right, you can get mansion stuff or Nightmare Before Christmas stuff everywhere. but
Anywhere you want. I can get it freaking at Walmart.
you can. All right. Well, we're gonna let Andrew take a drink of water. We're gonna wrap this podcast up. So, again, welcome 2025. We got more stuff planned. Happy things coming this year. Hopefully, cross my fingers. Upward and onward to infinity and beyond.
Go subscribe to
Everything
the
that we can-
YouTube. 600 subscriber or 1,000 subscribers this year.
So that is our goal. Yes.
That
By
is.
the end of 2025, we would like to have 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
1,000 subscribers. How do you say it
We
in
did
Spanish?
get a few
I-
more, or a couple more. We are at like 582. We were trying to hit 600 before the end of 2024. We didn't quite get there. That's
That's okay.
okay.
That's okay.
1,000 by the end of 2025. That's a whole year, 365 days. We're
And
gonna
we
try
only
to do
need-
it. That's our goal. We're
We
gonna
only
try to
need.
go for it.
That's just like more than one a day.
It's
Yeah.
a little, yeah.
A little
Yeah,
bit
we
more.
can do
One,
it.
1.5 a day.
We could do it. All right, that's it. That is going to wrap it up for this episode. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.